Hi, some changes were made to DL recently, like a patch or two ago, that made my Transcendence review video mostly irrelevant. The change was that Transcendence special actives no longer build stacks. So as you can see here, Dead Cross no longer builds stacks. But if I put a stack on, it procs them. So now Transcendence special actives work the same as any old DL special active besides Aurochs and Summon Darkness, where they just proc stacks. I misread this fix originally, they call it a fix by the way, where I thought that they made it so Transcendent special actives no longer proc stacks via Force of Free or passive. I guess the reason why I misread it like that is because I really like the stack building idea that Transcendent special actives added to DL. Alas, it was a bug, they fixed it, now I'm sad. So in my review video, I showed an example with Dead Cross and Supreme, where I did something like this. Supreme and X's, 3, 4, and then Dead Cross, right? And then Dead Cross would provide stacks for not only the last Supreme DOT tick, but also add another stack afterwards so that you could use more stacks right away for something like Apollyon and such. I feel that the approach has changed now from like getting the most terror stack damage to just upfronting all your skills so that you get the most benefit out of your cooldown reduction and the most control out of it. So it would look something like this, where just I'll just throw in Dead Hand point on, then just do Dead Cross immediately, and then X's, and then there's your cooldown reduction. This approach could have been done previously, even with Transcendent Special Actives building stacks, but I feel that it's more viable now, as proccing cooldown reduction is a little less reliable without the stack building from Transcendent Special Actives. I will warn you though that this approach is a little unfriendly to strength damage stacking buff, which is from that thing from Heroic Gloves or Hanier Gloves if you extracted the ID to them. And I think they also exist in the new town set. I don't know, we'll see. But as you can see on the top right, you can see that the buff immediately goes up to 2. And you might think that's good, but you're losing the 3 to 4 seconds that you previously had doing CLXs, where you were just like building MP and stacks and such. So maybe now you need something like Summon Darkness to upkeep that buff a little bit more reliably, but that's something that you can experiment for yourself. The main reason for this video though is for Dancing Blade. Dancing Blade is an awakened trait of Phantom Blade. The next balance patch, they're removing all awakened skill traits, so I have to say farewell to Dancing Blade here. I guess as a tribute to it, I'll show you why it's it's a really fun skill for me. So the main reason is this first slash. This first slash is a great escape option and repositioning tool for DL. You don't really get that with any other skill with DL. I'll show why, or I'll explain why in a little bit, but you can see that even like air dashing is not really the best approach here. So after this slash, you can get back in with something like a Terror Absorb, you can get something like Aurochs if you want to be safe. If it's just like one mob, you can just do Dancing Blade and just do X's, and that's pretty safe also. Things like that. On top of that, this escape tool is non-situational, so it goes through all the mobs. Phantom Blade, however, only goes through the first one, and then you just land straight dab in the middle here. And while there are situations where that can be useful, I personally don't like it. As well, Phantom Blade reminds me of Slide Double Kick on WS. Nah, I don't like that. So I talked only about like the first slash, but there's also 2 extra slashes. These slashes give you more iframe, of course. However, you can actually stagger these for even more iframes. So you can do this, this, this. And you can see that staggering them makes Dancing Blade much slower. And if you want even more iframes on top of that, after each Dancing Blade slash, like doesn't matter which one, the first, second, or third, you can actually use skills at the end of Dancing Blade's iframes, as long as you don't touch a movement key. So if I do this, 2, 3, and Aurochs, you can see that I'm pointing to the facing to the right. That means I did it correctly, and that means that I can't be hit out of me activating Aurochs there, which is fantastic. Oddly enough, I don't use Dancing Blade everywhere. In fact, I think I hardly used it at all. It's just there for when I need it, and I think that's perfectly fine. DL's toolset to me revolves around Supreme Punishment, where, you know, Dead Hands directly benefits it for extra stacks and just doing more damage. Aurochs builds more MP on both Supreme itself and the X's that you're using to build stacks on. Demonic Cannon, it launching mobs can be catched by Supreme's DOT, like things like that. So I feel that for Dancing Blade, what it does for Supreme Punishment is that it allows you to get to the backs of mobs, as DL still has that passive that people tend to forget, where he does extra damage. Well, they do extra damage to the back of mobs with special actives. On top of that, if you maybe need to get to another group of mobs, just do that. Things like that. So, let me reminisce for a little bit. Where did I use Dancing Blade the most? I think the video I used it the most on was the Percus's Phase 1 video, where I just took Aurochs off of my skill slots and I just did a run with it. And that was really fun, because basically all I did to dodge everything was that. And that was really fun. That was really fun. Enjoyable too. I didn't like using more potions than I normally would though. Let's see. On top of that, what else? Dancing Blade is actually the killing blow on 2 of my time attacks, I believe. The 2 being Type H and Hellput. So even if Dancing Blade is gone forever, it still has its legacy in my time attacks. For sure, for sure. I hope that I do see Dancing Blade back for a 3rd job. I believe that's what the KR trailer a while ago was implying, but we'll see. The next video or so, you'll find out where I put my skill slots at, as I press Awaken. See me flipping through these skills here in Type B? Yeah, that doesn't exist anymore. On top of that, you'll find out where my hyperactive keybind will be. It's gonna be really odd using hyperactive on Dreadlord. I guess that's everything. So, thank you for watching and or listening, and I'll catch you later.